The Toyota Yaris is a small automobile made and sold by Toyota since 1999. It is sold as the Toyota Belta, Toyota Vios, and Toyota Vitz. The Yaris is sold as a 3-door and 5-door hatchback and 4-door sedan. It is currently in its third generation. The first generation Yaris was known as the Toyota Echo in some markets. A distinctive feature of the first generation in many markets was a digital instrument display which glows out of a black hole in the center of the dashboard. The second generation model arrived in 2005 and the third generation was on sale from a period from 2011 to 2019. The Yaris IV was revealed in October 2019 before the opening of the 2019 Tokyo Motor Show and was officially put on sale in early 2020. As of 2023, the Yaris has been officially discontinued. The Toyota Yaris is a super mini/subcompact car sold by Toyota since 1999, replacing the Starlet and Tercel. Up to 2019, Toyota had used the Yaris nameplate on export versions of various Japanese market models, with some markets receiving the same vehicles under the Toyota Echo name through 2005. Starting in 2020, the Yaris nameplate began to be used in Japan, which replaced the Vitz nameplate. The Yaris nameplate has also been applied to other vehicles. From 1999 to 2005, the nameplate had been used for the Yaris Verso Mini MPV sold in Europe, where it was known in Japan as the Fun Cargo. Since 2020, the nameplate has also been used for the subcompact crossover SUV offering called Yaris Cross. In North America, most Yaris sedan models sold from 2015 to 2020 and Yaris hatchbacks sold from 2019 until 2020 were restyled versions of the Mazda 2, produced and developed by Mazda. In 2020, Toyota introduced the GR Yaris, which is a 3-door performance-oriented variant of the XP210 series Yaris using the Gazoo Racing branding. It is built as a homologation model for the FIA World Rally Championship. The name Yaris is derived from Charis, the singular form of Charites, the Greek goddesses of charm and beauty. As of March 2020, the Yaris has sold 8.71 million units worldwide. The first generation models were marketed between 1999 and 2005 under the Yaris and Echo names depending on the market. Hatchback, sedan, and coupe body variants were offered. The hatchback version was developed with the European market as the main target, designed by Toyota's ED2 facility in France. Exterior panels common between the hatchback and sedan versions are limited to the front doors. The second generation models were marketed between 2005 and 2013 under the Yaris name worldwide. Hatchback and sedan body styles were offered. The hatchback version was discontinued in late 2013 for Asian markets. The third generation models have been marketed since 2011 under the Yaris name worldwide. Originally available only as a hatchback, a sedan body style arrived in 2013, but it has not been offered in all countries. Notably, the United States and Canada have received only restyled Mazda 2 sedans, which have also been sold side by side with Toyota-produced sedans in Latin American and Caribbean markets. Hatchback, European, Australasian, South African, and most North American versions derive from the Japanese market Toyota Vitz, XP130, introduced in early 2011. Most Asian versions from 2013, some Latin American and Caribbean models from 2014 and mostly from early 2018, and South African models from early 2018 derive from the Asian market Toyota Yaris, XP150. Sedan, most Asian versions, Latin American and Caribbean models derive from the Asian market Toyota Vios, XP150, introduced in 2013. Some Asian versions from 2017 and most Latin American and Caribbean models from early 2018 derive from the Toyota Yaris, XP150. Starting with 2012 models introduced in late 2011, only the XP130 Yaris liftback was sold in the United States, and the XP150 sedan model was not offered. Toyota simultaneously dropped the Yaris sedan in Canada due to lackluster sales of the XP90 sedan. Production of all United States and Canadian XP130 Yaris models shifted from Japan to Toyota Motor Manufacturing France starting in May 2013. The 2019 model year XP130 Yaris liftback was never introduced in the United States. Toyota continued sales of the 2018 model into January 2019 when it was discontinued. Sales of the Canadian 2019 model continued into 2020 when it was replaced by the Mazda 2-based Yaris. The XP150 series Vios was introduced in Latin America and the Caribbean in 2013 as the Yaris sedan. In early 2018, a version of the Thai market Yaris ATIV replaced the XP150 model in these markets, being marketed under the Yaris sedan name. In Mexico, it was sold alongside the more expensive Mazda 2-based Yaris R until 2020. The fourth-generation Yaris, available initially only as a hatchback, was unveiled simultaneously on October 16, 2019 in Japan and Amsterdam, Netherlands. Built on the GAB platform, its development was led by Chief Engineer Yasunori Suezawa and Chief Hybrid Engineer Takashi Uehara. It went on sale in Japan on February 10, 2020, while the petrol 4WD variant went on sale in April 2020. A performance-oriented version developed by Toyota Gazoo Racing, called the GR Yaris, was first unveiled at the 2020 Tokyo Auto Salon and production began in September 2020. The XP210 Yaris hybrid-based Mazda 2 hybrid went on sale in Europe in 2022. The North American market did not receive the fourth-generation Yaris. Additionally, the nameplate, which had been used for a restyled Mazda 2, was eliminated in 2020. The sedan version was introduced in August 2022, debuting in Thailand as the Yaris ATIV to replace the previous XP150 model. Designated AC100, the model was developed by Daihatsu using the company's DNGAB platform. In 2014, Mazda began production of the Mazda 2 in Salamanca, Guanajuato, for various North and South American markets. At the 2015 New York International Auto Show in April of that year, it was announced that this plant would produce a version of the Mazda 2 for Toyota with minor styling changes, with the vehicle to be sold in Mexico as the Yaris, in the United States as the Scion IA and in Canada as the Yaris sedan. In July 2015, Toyota confirmed that the car would be sold in Mexico as the Yaris R. After the phase-out of the Scion mark in the United States, the car was renamed as the Toyota Yaris IA from August 2016 for the 2017 model year. For the 2019 model year, it was renamed again as the Yaris sedan in the United States, receiving a minor facelift with an updated grille insert and trim changes. Unlike the previous models, which offered only exterior colors and a choice between 6-speed manual and 6-speed automatic transmissions as factory options, both the United States and Canadian 2019 and 2020 Yaris sedans were offered in L, LE, and XLE trim levels with a wider variety of interior and exterior options. A Mazda-built Yaris hatchback, a rebadged Mazda 2 with a front fascia similar to that of the Yaris sedan, made its debut at the 2019 New York International Auto Show in April of that year and replaced the XP130 Yaris liftback in the United States and Canada for the 2020 model year. Its official images were revealed on 1 April 2019. The United States and Canadian Yaris hatchback was offered in LE and XLE trim levels. In the United States, sales of the hatchback began in October 2019. Both Mazda 2-based Yaris models were discontinued in the US in June 2020 due to new regulations and slow sales. In July, Toyota confirmed that sales were also ending in Canada. The vehicles were also discontinued in Mexico in August, leaving only the Thai-imported XP150 series Yaris and Yaris sedan as its indirect replacements. The Yaris Verso is a mini MPV that shares the same NBC platform as the XP10 series Yaris/Vitz/Plaid/Echo, which was produced between 1999 and 2005. It was succeeded by the Ractis/Verso S. The Yaris Cross nameplate is used by two subcompact crossover SUVs. The first model was produced since 2020 for Japan, Europe, and Australasia. Designated XP210, the model shares the same TNGAB platform as the XP210 series Yaris. The second model was produced since 2023 for emerging markets such as Southeast Asia. Designated AC200, the model was developed by Daihatsu and shares the same DNGAB platform as the AC100 series Vios/Yaris. This is the fourth generation of Toyota's now stalwart Super Mini, a car that was delightfully innovative when it first arrived back in 1999. It set new standards for interior packaging, providing the space and feel of a car from the next class up in a compact footprint. It's been a gradual evolution to the car's current look, though the Yaris remains recognizable for its upright stance. The interior is less of a marvel these days, but the hybrid electric powertrain is compelling for its low emissions. All the models are rated below 98 G/km CO2, and the driving experience has been commendably upgraded. When it first got its hybrid powertrain, the Yaris was practically the only Super Mini with the tech available, but now you've got the likes of the Renault Clio and Mazda 2 to choose from, as well as EV offerings like the Peugeot E208 and Vauxhall Corsa Electric. The Skoda Fabia has kept it all old school and simple and nailed the brief. Tough field. Yaris is a very stylish looking car, and wider and lower than its previous iteration. Moving to a new downsized version of Toyota's GAC platform, which has done wonders for the CHR and Corolla, has helped. Inside, you sit 60 mm further back and 20 mm lower than the old car, which makes it less amenable to the sorts of drivers who are more advanced in age and appreciate a higher hip point for swiveling out of the car. But nicer for people who like to get comfortable behind the wheel. The Yaris is surprisingly direct and comfortable. A stiff base to push from, thanks to that shared platform, means that the suspension does what it should. The longer wheelbase adds some ride refinement to motorway cruising, it doesn't pitch as much as the old one, and the wider stance makes it a little bit less wobbly if you tip it into a corner with too much speed. You've got the 3DRGR version of the Yaris if you want to pretend you're behind the wheel of a rally car, but otherwise this less sporty one is grown up on the move and more reassuring to drive at most speeds. So that's good. There's just the one basic setup that comes with the Yaris, but it's available in two states of tune. You get a 1.5-liter 3-cylinder petrol engine that pairs up with an e-motor and small battery for either 114 bhp and 104 pounds-foot of torque, or 129 bhp and 136 pounds-foot. Both flavors send power to the front wheels through our old friend the ECVT gearbox. It's not as bad as you might think, whereas older iterations sent the revs sky high and kept them there. These days there's a more naturalistic setup to the continuously variable transmission. It'll still rev right up if you hoof the throttle, but it will settle down much quicker. You'll get to 62 miles per hour from a standstill in 9.7 and 9.2 seconds respectively depending on which power level you go for, but most impressive is the approximately 70 mpg fuel consumption rating that's surprisingly attainable. Around town, at least. Drive it sensibly and carefully and you've got yourself a rewarding, in terms of fuel consumption at least, runabout. It's never going to be the most exciting or engaging car to drive, but that's largely irrelevant to the target market. And a criticism that Toyota has spectacularly addressed with the GR version of the car. The tight turning circle, modest dimensions, and light steering at parking speeds are probably of more importance to potential drivers, which make the Yaris about as fuss-free as a small automatic hatchback gets. Thank you for watching this video.